car. If he has a feeling, he'd have to start last. He'd have to start.
He
way
filled
towards
in
the
for
back.
Strickler, and he.
Wait,
It was at the All-Star Invitational at the Charlotte Dirt Track.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I said, man, that's absolutely cool. I said, how'd you get that gig? He says that he was there racing on Friday, blew his motor. So he hangs out with these guys. They're the ones that got him into the Harris chassis. So he said that his engine blew on Friday, so I hung out with them since they're the ones that got me in the Harris. Kyle ended up winning the feature and wanted to celebrate, so he threw me in the car, which was
Hold on, I wish somebody else would celebrate and throw me into
I
the
know,
car.
huh?
Their winning car.
So
Hell yeah.
I want you to listen to the names that were in this race. Kenny Wallace, Nick Hoffman, former Cup driver David Stremme, doing very well in the modifieds on the dirt. Brian Ruhlman. Everybody knows Brian Ruhlman, the rocket cars by Ruhlman. Some pretty big names. So I said, did you finish ahead of those guys? And he says, well, I ended up ahead of Stremme and Hoffman. There were quite a few cars behind me at the end. His car handled 110% different, so I had to learn how to drive the car. By the end, 15 laps. It was a short little sprint invitational race. He says, I could have run the top 5, but I was stuck behind Ryan Ayers in the Longhorn mod and didn't want to put a scratch on Kyle's car. Emphasis on didn't want to put a scratch on Kyle's car. But, to jump in a car like that's not even yours and go out and run, with some big-time names at a show like that, that's pretty impressive. So I want to give a shout-out to –
Dude, that 8-car look.
Well, and everybody knows in the modified world, everybody knows that 8-car. I mean, that's a very successful race team, a very successful driver. So I want to give a shout-out to Brody. I mean, that's not breaking news. That's not what we were going to talk to or talk about. But I just wanted to kind of get into that.
That's bad.
Before
That's
we
awesome.
got into the second half of the show.
So what came across the hot presses and stuff that you had to run outside so fast for?
Well, that wasn't just now, but something we've been working on for the last couple of days and something I think is pretty cool for us. I was at work Monday when an email came through, and the email actually
Now, hold on. Before you start this,
okay.
is I got a bunch of Facebook messages.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Well,
What's going on? Why is somebody posting on Moxie Media breaking news teaser like every 27
that's
minutes?
Joel.
And that's what I did. I said Joel is now an admin. He gets bored at work, and he basically says that the 1,700,000 listeners that we have each and every week isn't enough. He would like to have 1 or 2 more. So he does this thing called Boost Page. He boosts it to the East Coast. I think he boosted it to
We started at the Midwest.
yeah, and then but you went overseas too. I think it was Germany. And so I got an email from I don't read German, but it came across as some squiggle lines and stuff, and at the very end, if you can't read this, please translate. I will be listening to Moxie Media Northwest Dirt News. Okay. So if you're in Germany right now, we don't speak German, but we would like to thank you for listening to our show tonight
cool.
for the breaking news.
So Monday, I'm sitting here at work, and pretty busy day. Things are going well, and my phone goes off. Get an email, and basically the email is from Neil Reed, who is with Las Vegas Motor Speedway,
The operation
Right.
director.
and says that he's heard our show, he likes what we do, he's talked to some people about us, and basically says, want you guys to show up down here at the Duel in the Desert. You guys have full media credentials. Set up a booth, interview drivers, do whatever you want to do down here. Come down and help promote the show. And I'm going, okay, what? What's going on here?
Is this
Yeah.
really happening?
So
You
I
had to
read
check
it.
that email again, didn't
Okay.
you?
So he says to me, let me know who I need to put on the list and what day you'll be arriving. So we do know one bad part that's going to happen for the duel is Joel.
He is not going hunting.
He's afraid to ask his boss for the time off, so he won't be going to the Duel in the Desert.
I'm not afraid to ask. I
Yes.
have mandatory overtime that week.
No, it's
Mandatory
not.
overtime is code word for I'm afraid to ask my boss
Exactly.
for time off.
So Joel, listen, you missed Bakersfield. For why?
No,
Tell everybody why you missed Bakersfield.
was it mandatory overtime?
No.
That's what
Oh,
Why
you
did
went and shot at the deer.
You went and
that-
shot at something.
that-
But you could have shot at a chance to go to Bakersfield and be
So I think what it's
that
going
much
to take,
cooler.
what it's going to take is us walking in to your work and basically telling your boss, listen, we can do this your way.
Well, we
or
can
you
do
can
it as
our
our
way.
way.
You know,
So
do
I'll
we
tell
have
you
to
right
do
You
now.
got to
this?
remember, I work in a redneck industry, and
That's
say,
okay.
they'll say, "Well, listen here, boy, we got our shotgun. Get out."
Check it out. We got the accent, so now what?
yeah, we are.
Accents have
So-
worked a lot more. Talk to Warren.
Joel,
He
we're going to
knows.
continue to put the pressure on you to work on this. We'd really like to have you with us, but Moxie Media will be at the Duel in the Desert,
That is our
Um,
breaking news. Is that
which is pretty cool because you
But-
know what? Here's the thing: they contacted us.
that's right? Now, do you
that-
want to talk about the other stuff that
Well-
might be pending?
Well, hold on. No, not yet, because the word there is might be. I don't want to break anything unless it's going to be.
so, do we
um,
want to break?
But that other one you're talking about is a very, very big deal, and I'm hoping that it does happen. And if it does, it'll start with this event. But again, we're working on that. But I thought, how cool is it that this thing here, that we, started 4 years ago as a one-man show with a Facebook page, has now turned into a weekly radio show, traveling up and down the West Coast covering races. With a show like The Duel in the Desert, for them to contact you. Actually, the initial contact came on Facebook.
Right.
And it says, hey, what's your email? So I sent off my email, and then that email came in. I'm going,
Well, it was funny
Wait a
because
second
you
here.
texted me and you said, "Hey, are you sitting down?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm actually driving the truck." And I read that, and I pretty much had to pull over.
well, it was funny because I sent him the text.
You shouldn't text and drive, Josh.
No, I didn't text. He texted me. I just happened to be reading it.
So, but it was funny because
I
I sent
Bluetoothed
the
it.
text. I sent the text, and it wasn't 15 seconds, and my phone was ringing, and he had pulled over, and he's like, "Hey, what? What's going on?" He's freaking out. I said, "Dude, they just got a hold of me. They want us to come down."
He
and-
asked me if my bags are still packed.
Yeah, I did.
And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Well," he says, "Did you read your text?" And I said, "Well, you text me. I read it." And he said, "Are your bags still packed?" And I called him and I said, "Why?" And he said, "Well, this is the deal." And I'm about
Yeah, he
Freaked out.
He freaked out pretty good. Actually, Sandy, I had you on speaker, and Sandy was listening. She started cracking up. Just walked away. But yeah, so a pretty neat deal for them to recognize us. I mean, for what we're doing. I mean, really, isn't big time stuff. But if you're getting recognized by the big time,
and that's where it all comes down to is that
That's a
we
pretty cool
made
deal.
a ton of contacts down at Bakersfield. We've made a ton of contacts. I mean, just look at our email list and everything in the emails and stuff we go through. We got a priority list and we got a regular general admission list and all that type of stuff. And so when somebody comes across and it's a priority, you start reading that and you start reading at some of these people what they're talking about and who they're with. We've talked to another media company that
well, that's a confirmed deal.
that has heard us, talked about us,
Mhm.
has a deal going on, and said, we want you guys as our announcers for this certain race.
Mm-hmm.
We're making our last little bit of,
Which, by the way, is it's a big race.
it's a big race for some. Yeah,
we'll talk
it's-
more about that probably next week. But it is big, and for them to get a hold of us and ask us, hey, look, we like what you're doing with Moxie Media. We like how you do what
Right.
you do. We want you guys to come do our show.
Yeah, you're interactive and you're fun. Like Warren was saying and stuff is that, I mean, we try to keep it interactive. We try to keep it fun. Again, our whole show isn't about us. It's about you, the racers, about you, the tracks,
Sponsors.
promoters, sponsors, all that type of stuff. Because if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be doing
We
this.
wouldn't have
a
anything to
job.
do. We
Yeah.
wouldn't have anything to do.
I mean,
So,
it's not like we do anything anyway.
well, I mean, I guess what we do, we try our best, and it's working because
I think
Yeah.
we just have we like what we do. We have a ton of fun. We got a lot of listeners.
So
A lot of
stop right
support.
there because I wanted to talk about that. That was okay. So last week we had the presidential debate. Remember that? Okay.
We
No,
had-
I don't remember that at all.
So
Can-
well,
yeah, 'cause-
you weren't. You were here.
Yeah, exactly.
Can,
So-
can
I
I
was
say
busy.
it? Can I say it, please?
No.
No.
God,
No.
I just want to say this.
But this was here, and you guys heard me. We came into the studio and I said, man, of all nights to have the presidential debate on a Wednesday night, I don't know why we're here. No one's gonna be listening to us live. They're gonna be sitting down and watching the debate, which I understand. We're at a changing time in American history. It's actually a really important, election. I thought, we're just wasting our time. Why even go on the air tonight? Let's do it tomorrow. Went ahead, did the show. Got done. We looked at our numbers. And of all things, it was the highest rated show we have ever had since we started doing this. We had more listeners up against the presidential debate than we ever have. And I thought, that's pretty cool.
I do want to put this out. I want to throw it all out to all the California listeners. Because California guys, that you guys are listening right now, sorry, Oregon, Washington, but you guys are getting trumped on by the California listeners. And
that it's crazy to look at our California listening base
growing
every week.
That's the thing, is that our Washington, Oregon listeners, they grow their numbers.
Well, it's a large number. It's a very large number.
Huge.
But if you look at the percentage of our listeners right now,
still funny.
The California listeners are
growing more and more and more.
The percentage of the show every week, that percentage of the whole is bigger in California than it is in Oregon and Washington combined.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not but it's not that much bigger, but it is bigger. I mean, it's quite a large number.
It was funny because prior to Bakersfield, I mean, we have listeners all over. California, Michigan, East Coast, West Coast. I mean, we have listeners from all over. I mean, you look at the graph, and you got to scroll down to look at how many where the cities and stuff come from. And of course, Washington, Oregon, and stuff was the biggest base. Once we started talking about Bakersfield and all that, you started numbers watching just boom, 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 and every week it started ticking off a little bit more,
right?
A little more. You get to Bakersfield, and it was half to half, and then
right. Since Bakersfield, it's crazy because since Bakersfield, we have more live listeners from the southern region of California, Arizona, than we do here in the Northwest. But as the week goes on, the numbers in the Northwest grow faster than they do from the state of California. What is crazy is one of the numbers that stays completely steady is the listening base up in Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Missouri.
Hawaii.
Well, yeah, that's a small number. But up in that one region, up by the Great Lakes and that Minnesota, we've got a good chunk of listeners up there.
If you guys are from
Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee.
Yeah, if you guys are from there, hit us up on the chat line. Tell us where you're from. If you're listening right now, just get on there. I mean, it's real easy. You're on the Spreaker app already. You're listening to us. Hit over there to where it says chat. Put your name down. Tell us where you're listening from. We'll put it like this. We might even we'll try to get like a prize pack or something like that to go on or whatever in the furthest personal way that puts it on there. You can even email us, moxiemedia at moxiemedia2016 at gmail.com. Email us. We'd love to have your emails. We'd love to sit there and read those from you.
It's been
if we don't
crazy.
Get right back to you, it just basically means that we're going through a ton of stuff.
Hit
us up on our Facebook page too. I mean, there's tons of ways to get a hold of us, but tell us where you are. Let us know. I mean, if you guys are listening, you like us. Somebody said right there, who's that?
Crescent City, California.
Who is that?
Brad Birdquist.
Bad Brad.
Bad Brad.
What are you doing, big guy? See, California right there. I'm telling you.
They're the first to jump on, man.
Now, Brad, okay, tell us how our show is. If there's something, if you guys want to talk about something, again, this is your guys' show. If you guys have sponsors you guys want to shout out, let us know. We'll shout those sponsors out. It is about you, the racers, to sit there and get your name, product, whatever the case, bring that out. We want to make sure that you guys are taken care of. That's the whole reason why we're here.
Now, Brad, very, very fast.
Now, in a golf cart. Have you seen this guy in a golf cart?
Have you
No,
seen him?
I'm just playing, Brad.
Have you seen him?
No, I've never.
I'll tell you.
Bad fast, huh?
Yeah.
That's why he's called Bad Brad?
Yeah.
Okay, so check this out, Brad. Are you going down to the Duel of the Desert?
You'll see him, and you know what I'm talking about.
Whoa.
You'll see him, and that's exactly
Brad,
what I'm talking
you're
about.
Brad, you're coming
right
up our way very soon.
It's going to be, and he's won that deal.
Oh, okay, Brad. Then I'm telling you right now that we hammer down, big guy. Because if you're coming up to what I think you're coming up to this year,
I'm telling you. Oh, he's not coming.
Are you kidding me right now,
Brad? I'm so disappointed in you, sir.
Brad. Do you need sponsorship money, dude? I mean,
don't say that.
I got a quarter.
What racer's going to say no?
No, I got a quarter, man. I mean, that might do something, right?
So, wait a second. Stop. Look at this.
Joel,
what are you doing?
He's sweating, dude.
He's over here sweating. He's got the mic put down. He's typing away on his keyboard. What are you researching?
He'll find out.
So Brad, California, right? loyal listener, been listening for quite a while. Are you not gonna come up and not race, or are you actually just are you not